Hi, church. Just as we promised yesterday, I'm coming to you today to show you the Growing Young assessment results. I've got the assessment results right here in my hand. To save some trees, we have just uploaded the PDF onto our website. And before you look at it, I just want to go through it with you here, kind of as virtually over my shoulder, so you can kind of understand what it's all about. You've got the front page there. You all know what that is. We've got a table of contents, second page. After that, if you're still wanting to know more things about Growing Young, page 3 is going to kind of tell you what it's about and where we're going from there. The fourth page is the Growing Young assessment, or the Growing Young priorities wheel, which we've been talking about. And then page 5 is just a little bit about how the assessment takes place. If you want to skip all that stuff, you can feel free to. I think the really interesting stuff starts with the demographics and who took the test on page 6. And then page 7 is our actual scores. And so they've pulled up the wheel again. And right there, we've got the 6 areas and then red, yellow, and green on how well we did. If we scored a 3.75 on the Likert scale or above, it's green. Between 3.25 and 3.74 is yellow. And below 3.25 means we need to prioritize that and have some improvement. I think the most important page for most of you is going to be page 8. I'm going to go through and just talk about the 6 areas real quick and how we did on them. And then if you want to learn more and if you want to see how we did on every question, and if you want to kind of compare how we did based on age and roles, all that's in there along with graphs for our most diverse answers, as well as how likely we are to be motivated to do this and how urgent we feel towards change. So here we go on page 8, our actual scores. The first one, keychain leadership, the first priority in those 6 gospel core commitments. Keychain leadership is defined as, instead of centralizing authority, empower others, especially young people. Keychain leadership was our lowest score. We scored a 2.89. That's going to be an area that we're going to focus on. Empathy today. Empathy is defined as, instead of judging or criticizing, step into the shoes of this generation. That was our second lowest score at 2.93. Next is taking Jesus' message seriously. That was our second highest score. Taking Jesus' message seriously is when, instead of asserting formulaic gospel claims, welcoming young people into a Jesus-centered way of life. And we scored 3.68 on that. Warm relationships. Instead of focusing on cool worship or programs, aim for warm peer and intergenerational friendships. We scored a 3.38 on that. Prioritizing young people and their families everywhere. Instead of giving lip service to how much young people matter, look for creative ways to tangibly support, resource, and involve them in all facets of your congregation. We scored a 3.11 on that, and that is an area that we're also going to be focusing on improving in. Lastly, being the best neighbors. Instead of condemning the world outside your walls, enable young people to neighbor well locally and globally. That was by far our highest score at 3.93. We do neighboring well, and that's something that we need to feel good about as we go forward. So from here on, from page 9, it's going to start giving us a breakdown of every answer that we give. And so how well did we do on unlocking keychain leadership, answer by answer? It's going to go through that all the way through the 6 core commitments. At which point it's going to get into openness to change. You can look at the 3 answers. We answered to that, as well as urgency for change, strongest areas, weakest areas, areas of key differences, and then it's going to get into some more demographic results, how we answered things based on age, how we answered things based on roles, and then, based on gender is kind of the last thing. So that's going to be the stuff that you're really going to want to look at and learn about. Again, I want to tell you one more time, like I did yesterday in church, that we're opening 6 focus groups. When those 6 focus groups fill up with 10 people, we'll open some more. But we are at this point really wanting to hear from you to gather some stories so that we can start telling the stories about when we did a good job of unlocking keychain leadership, so that we can remember that we're maybe not as far away and maybe it doesn't look as different to do church in a healthier way than maybe we might imagine. Again, for the 611 of you that took the survey, I want to say thank you because it is so helpful to define reality so that we can start improving as a church. Thank you.